Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. There was some technical issues in my laptop. It was able to not run properly. Somehow, like overall, it is okay now. I welcome once again everyone. Thanks for all joining for a 79th learning session. As per today's topic, knocking the door of happiness. Normally the situation everyone makes like some panic situations in life, like. Uh, we need to always think about what is the next action to do, take an action for a happiness. So in today's session, we hope like learn about what are the steps we can take to knock the happiness, and more on the about like today's speaker. I welcome Miss Anuradha and Miss Asha Shukla to take over the screen and to start the presentation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Hi, thank you so much. I would request you to please make us as a co-host so we can go ahead and share the screen.
Yes, ma'am, I will do that.
Thank you so much. Hi, good evening all. My name is Astha Shukla and I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I work as a freelance corporate trainer and speaker, and the topic for today's learning is Knocking the Door of Happiness, which is nothing but a book which had been written by Mrs. Anuradha Etchen, who works as a professor at Oxford College of Business Management, Bangalore. And she is also a professor of mine. She used to teach me when I was pursuing my MBA back in Bangalore. So today's topic is a very wide topic because it involves the title of our book. And let us begin with the presentation then.
Will you please put your slides on presentation modes?
Yes, yes, I'm just going to do that.
Thank you so much.
So I hope uh, the slides are visible to everyone.
Yep.
Thank you. So, Knocking the Door of Happiness. This is what the title of today's learning, and this is the title of our book, which has been launched last October, and it is available globally. So, why knocking the door of happiness? Why not something else? And what does knocking the door of happiness signifies? So, knocking the door of happiness stands for a lot many things, which can be considered as happiness, which is something immaterialistic thing which you can only define or express via your emotions. It could also define the opportunity which helps you to be happy in that particular moment. It can be about any feeling you go through at that particular moment which gives you a feeling of blissfulness or happiness. So Knocking the Door of Happiness is a book by Mrs. Anuradha Etchen and I, Astha Shukla. So what are we going to discuss in today's presentation? So we will be talking about understanding what happiness is in a wider aspect, work life and mental health, secrets of inner journey. There will be a topic which includes which is going to talk about success tips to students, followed by the conclusion and question answer session. So the first two topics will be covered by me. The remaining two topics will be taken care by Anuradha ma'am, and then we will be proceeding towards the conclusion. To begin with, what is happiness? And I'm going to put these random images because I know a lot of you will be wondering, like, why am I showing these images to you? So for all of us, happiness varies. For some of us, it may be defined as securing first rank. For a few, it would be about getting a better job or a good job which pays you well. For some of us, having a hefty bank balance, standing out from the crowd, getting that one idea in your brain which can help you to move forward in your life. Happiness can be anything and it differs. So I'm sure a lot many times this question must have crossed your mind at different stage in your life, like what is happiness? Am I happy today? Is this what happiness is all about? Is this why I am happy? Is this what makes me happy? So understanding what happiness in a wider aspect. what we believe is happiness is very subjective. From a person to person, it differs. Just like how you define success, similarly, happiness is a state of mind. A lot of people have written so many quotes about happiness. There is a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, written by Robin Sharma, who have stated happiness is a journey, not a destination. The quote itself means that happiness is not the ultimate goal. It happens like every cloud has a silver lining. If you're happy today, you might not be happy tomorrow. There would be something which will upset you. So it is a journey. You keep traveling. There is no final destination. So it is a very subjective topic for every one of us. So what defines happiness? What are the factors that defines happiness? And how is it subjective from different people? So a very major factor which justifies that it is subjective is the age. When I was a kid, maybe having a chocolate used to give me immense pleasure or used to give me happiness. When I grew up, securing good marks and a first or second rank in the class defines my happiness. When I grew any further, selecting the college I always wanted to pursue my higher studies for defined my happiness. So, I as an individual have changed the definition of happiness as and when I grew old. So, as a kid, chocolate was the factor which made me happy. As an adult, getting a better college for my higher studies was a factor making me happy. So, as and when I grew up, I was able to identify the difference. Like the happiness I found in little things when I was a kid might not be the same factors which will make me happy as I grew old. So, that happens with every individual. Needs, what we need, what are our desires, that defines pretty much of our happiness. When again, as a child, we always used to see our elder siblings writing with a pen, and we always used to talk that when we will start writing with an ink pen, maybe that is when it would be amazing, it would be happy. Once we ended up into the class where we were allowed to use fountain pen or ink pen, we used to always go back to that time, recollecting the memories, how amazing it was to write with a pencil. But then you see the need, how our need and desires defines our happiness. But it keeps on changing in the, because change is the only constant. So as per your age, as per your mood, every your need and aspirations keep changing at times, and that also changes your definition to happiness. Gender, a lot of studies which talks about how men and women are different from each other also defines the factor how men perceive happiness and how women perceive happiness. So there is a lot of studies, and I would love to discuss about it. Maybe after this session someday, you can always connect with me if you want to talk about it. But there are so many studies which are available, which also talks about the factors like men are higher on IQ, which means intelligent quotient, and women are higher on EQ, which is emotional quotient. And those two factors also defines the state of being happy for male and female, men and women, as how a societal patriarchy or the societal chart has been built. From ages, men have been considered to be the karta of family, like someone who were also termed as the breadwinner of the family. For ages, that is how it has been. And female or women were always considered to be someone looking after their spouse, their parents, their kids, and more of the emotional aspect. So that is how we have been existing in this human societal structure, and that particular thing has an impact throughout. So men always tend to get more happier when it comes to the financial stability, the monetary aspect of life, whereas women always find it more satisfying, and they find themselves to be happy when they are able to connect with someone emotionally. So a very good example would be quite often when we approach our parents. So our father is someone who gives us more practical solution for our problems, whereas our mothers are strong, but they are more concerned towards the emotional aspect of a problem which we are discussing with them. And that very thing, the approaches of these two people towards life is pretty much defines how they perceive happiness in their life. And this is extremely common in men and women. Like, obviously there are certain situations where men also tend to incline toward emotional aspect, but studies have shown that higher emotional expectations are from the end of a women than that of a men. So that also defines happiness for them accordingly. Preferences. My preference would not be your preference for sure. Maybe a lot of friends of mine are getting married or having babies, but that might not be my preference at the current moment. And how my preference, my aspirations, my priorities in life have been set by me pretty much defines the happiness. And when I talk about all these factors, if you see them more closely, all of them talks about how we associate happiness with the materialistic factors in our life and other factors. Other factors could be anything like societal structure you live in, your family conditions, a lot of other factors are which may or may not be into your control also defines your happiness. And it also affects your happiness because sometimes out of societal pressure we are not able to do things what we love to do, and that makes us sad or unhappy. So it can be both, vice versa. So when I talk or when I say about the materialistic aspect of happiness, it is very important to understand that we have been associating our emotions with a lot of worldly things. When I say worldly things, it is all about money, it is all about success, it is all about achieving something in life. But then we all tend to forget the contentment, the little things which is actually helping us to reach to a goal. Like we often forget how we put those efforts to learn the basics of maths to become a doctorate in maths. So we often forget those little things, the small steps we take to reach at the higher end of our lives. So even in our book, we because there is a quote, I don't remember who have written it, but there's a very common quote which says, uh, "Happiness cannot no sorry, money cannot buy happiness, but make sure you earn enough to say it." I don't remember who have said it, but it is a very common post or very common quote. I quite often see it over my Instagram timeline. And it is true. I do not disagree to it, but I do not completely agree to it because money is an essential part or essential thing for your survival, because you need to have food so that you can survive and have energy in your body, and you can only purchase that food if you have got money. There is no barter system, right? You cannot have 1 kilo of rice by just sharing a hug. You have to give them the money. So it is the basic necessity, but how far money is the sole thing which gives you happiness is questionable. And it is quite often being argued by people that why would you say that materialistic pleasure does not define happiness? Because all the materialistic pleasure which we achieve in lives are short lived. They do not stay for a longer duration. So happiness was defined, like what we considered in our book was the two aspects of happiness. One was the spiritual, and another one was the psychological aspect. So when I say spiritual aspect, I do not try to emphasize on any religious practice which you follow, because spirituality is different from a religion. Spirituality is about becoming aware about your body, your mind, your soul, and your existence, your aura, your surroundings. Being or becoming aware of yourself and your surrounding is what spirituality talks about. Whereas psychology talks about your mind. How can you control your mind? What goes on into your mind, and how your mind is ruling everything you go through. The study of brain, the study of psych is what psychology is all about. So when we argue on something from the spiritual point of view, a lot of people come out with a cross question asking for a scientific backup for that. And a lot of spiritual aspects which are being into practice in today's lives have been scientifically backed up, because there are a lot of psychological research papers and studies which are ongoing and which have been concluded a few years down the lane, supporting all the spiritual practices. Like yoga was being questioned by a lot many people, but as in when research, like a lot of research had happened over it, people agreed upon to it that yes, yoga is beneficiary, meditation is beneficiary. So when we talk about happiness in the perspective of spirituality and psychology, I would just like to bring up a few points to you guys, that how these two things actually help you to stay content or help you to attain contentment in your life. I hope a lot of people uh, joining this session are aware about these hormones. And this is a very scientific study, which is also being discussed in the spiritual aspect or when discussing about the human body. But this particular scientific research have made a lot of people agree upon to the spiritual facts which have been written down or which were available for ages. So science says there are four hormones which are basically important, or which are basically the main reason behind all the feelings we possess in us as a human. So these four hormones are dopamine, oxytocin, sero- serotonin, and endorphins. So dopamine are the hormones which helps us to learn something new, which helps us to feel bliss or content about something, which also helps us to feel motivated. Serotonin, on the other hand, is the mood controller hormone. I would say a lot of mood swings when we have, that is when the serotonin in our body or in our brain increases. Oxytocin is about how we feel, or how the feeling of belongingness and trust can be built within ourselves and among the people we hang out with, we stay with, we live with. And then comes endorphins, which is all about your stress, which controls the level of your stress, which helps you to calm yourself down, which helps you to feel the feeling of nostalgia or euphoria. And any imbalance in these hormones can have a dysfunctioning. So if serotonin is about controlling your mood, so if you're feeling happy today, if it is not properly balanced, you might have a huge mood swings. Like you can be happy 5 minutes ago and immediately you will be angry 5 minutes later. So those mood swings, all those feelings, what we go through, maybe the feeling of happiness, the sadness, the motivation, the demotivation, everything is being controlled by the hormones in our brain, in our body. So it is a very much scientific fact that materialistic thing just add on to what we feel, because everything stays within ourselves, like here in our body, from top to bottom, everything regulates in and out of our body. And this is a very important image, since most of us are working from home. I and this is a very common topic under debate for years, but it has actually became a hotshot topic since the pandemic situation, where a lot of people were working from home. And it talks about work and life. When I say work and life, I also mean the mental health, because since 2019, a lot of conferences on an international level have started considering mental well-being as the common factor or as an important factor in one's life. So we talk about work, we talk about life, we talk about mental health, but do we talk about balance? Do we talk about balancing it? So, as the quote goes, which is being said by Buddha, to keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. So, according to Buddha, it is being said that it is important to keep a healthy body, to keep to make sure our mind is stronger enough. But then there is another saying which says, a healthy mind is a sign of a healthy body. So you cannot ignore the mental health just because you think you are fit enough physically. Mental health is equally important. And for ages, we have been giving priority to our work. So if I say this is a seesaw, this is my work where I'm putting more pressure, and my life is somewhere where I'm least bothered about. Because, and it is very important to bring that into label where neither the work is down nor the life is down. It has to be labeled because you cannot ignore one thing for the other thing. It has to go hand in hand. But then, how often do we do that? Do we ever take a pause? Do we ever do something helps us, which helps us to give us a thought about what we are doing in our life? Do we ever sit and think about it, like what all is getting impacted if we are not balancing our work and our life and not focusing on our mental health as well? Why are we not taking a pause? This is how the work life of almost every individual can be defined. We are more inclined towards our work, often ignoring our life. When I say life, it doesn't only mean your family or your friends or your loved ones. It also means yourself. So why pause is important? Pause is important so that you can look around and you can spend some time with your family, your friends, your husband, your wife, your kids, your and more importantly with yourself. When was the last time you sat alone without thinking about anything and just focusing on what you are doing, what you want to do? Is there something you want to learn? Is there something you want to unlearn or do not want to continue? How often do you have that conversation with yourself? At times, we do not take pause to spend time with our kids or with our pet. You know, animals and kids are the most positive source available on this earth because they are extremely carefree, they are non-judgmental, and when you're being surrounded by the kids or by when you play with your pet, maybe your cat, your dog, or whatever pet you have, you are being yourself. You are actually in that moment enjoying the present time without even considering or giving a lot of attention to, oh my god, my work is pending, oh my god, I have to do this thing, oh my god, I have to do that thing. So why not spending some time with your kids or with your pet? Why not meditate and do self introspection? Maybe give out some time to yourself, read that book which you have purchased maybe 10 days ago, a month or year ago. Or maybe if you're a podcast listener, listen to that podcast episode you have saved in your phone or in your gallery or some way you have downloaded it and you never got a chance to, spend some time on it. Do that. Go out and take a walk with the nature. Like, look around. It's such a positive aura all around us that it is important that we get out of this computer screen. We spend almost like 10 hours, 12 hours of our day. Like, take a walk outside. Let your mind be free. Go, let the thoughts flow in the direction they want to. Like, everything what pops up in your head may or may not be important, may or may not be necessarily be, you know, fruitful. The thoughts can be just a thought without any direction, without any aim. They could be aimless thoughts, and let them flow. And for once, do not let your brain, to be channelized into one direction. Stop doing that for once. Stop pressurizing your brain for once. The pause is really very important. And with this slide, I would end my presentation because I just wanted to add here that one image is where a guy is hugging a tree. On the other hand, the image talks about spirituality, which a person is in a meditative position. It is very important to calm yourself with the help of meditation. It calms your soul, your mind, and it helps you to stay more concentrated and focused towards what you want to achieve in your life. On the other hand, hugging a tree was an initiative which I believe Iceland Forest Department started it, helping people to come out of the stress, to help them understand the importance of the nature. There was also an initiative which was uh, implemented by the plantation department of Israel, which said, hug a tree than hugging a friend. This initiative was introduced due to the social distancing norm, which was implemented due to coronavirus pandemic situation, where everyone was going through the social distancing norm. And when people were stressed, anxious, and freaking out, Israel government or plantation department said that it's okay if you cannot meet human. Let's hang out with the nature. Go and hug a tree. And it has been proven that trees helps to reduce the stress. So, when you talk about happiness, you talk about all these things, it is very important that you find things within rather than looking around it and associating your happiness with all the materialistic pleasure in life, because they are often short lived. And with this, I would like to hand over the presentation to Anuradha ma'am, and she will take it forward.
Thank you, Asta.
Should you want to change the presentation, or you want to go ahead with the same presentation?
It's the same presentation. And Asta, can you please present for the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. I hope. Good evening, everyone. So before starting to the session, so I just want you to ask only one question. Okay. So before getting into thoughts or before getting into any kind of presentation, as the quote already says, the person is a product of his own thoughts. Like what you think, you will be the same. Like, okay, whatever you are today, like, yes, you are what you thought of. Okay. So before getting into that details, like what we have to do, what, where we stand, unless until you give an attention to any particular person or to me, or to anyone, like you won't concentrate much, right? So I would like to ask Nidhi, so can you tell me, like, once you wake up in the morning, what you do actually? It plays a very important role in any human being. What you do actually, anyone can answer.
The first thought is to just sit down for a couple of minutes and be alive, and then start the day what it is. So I am a very late waking up person, so I sort
okay,
of
what do you do when you're
on.
going to sleep? Okay, you want to sleep for 10 minutes, 5 minutes before sleep, like what thoughts will be running in your mind?
How I closed what I was supposed to be doing in for the day, and hopefully I've closed some of the major actions for the day, and I can have a peaceful sleep. Hope I don't get disturbed.
Okay. So most of the people, when I ask this question, this is what I'm going to get an answer from the people. Okay. So, but you should understand, like everyone should understand, including me. Like I learned while in the process of writing a book, so many things are very much important. Okay. So before you getting from the sleep, you from the bed, you got up and you said you will be sitting for a while. Yes. What do you do while sitting in a while? 15 minutes in 24 hours, like, which is very crucial, which is very, very much important, how you organize your day, how you are going to do. So just making a quick, to-do list and to-be list. Like most of us will talk about to-do list. Okay, what you will be, doing, like today I have to go to the office, today I have to do this, today I have to do that. But most of the time, even we miss out what we have to be also. So it is very much important to count. So to be list also. So to be list as like, okay, I will be happy all the day. I will be energetic all the day. I will be, smiling. I will be, if I am a very short-tempered person, like let me make it cool down this day at least. So like there is a lot of programming required while before you are going to start a day. Okay, so there are so many things, like as Asta told, like okay, spirituality is about like okay, different religions, so let's not get into that. But any person who get up from the bed, then they can definitely think of like what they are going to do on that day. So 5 things or 3 things what they are going to do and what they are going to be. So for that, like how you will start? So you are starting with a gratitude. to whom you are showing gratitude, to earth, to nature, to everyone surrounding, to your parents. Like, okay, have one, nice, beautiful smile on your face, if possible. With that smile, see a mirror which boosts your confidence, like you feel so happy and excited, throughout the day, like looking, first happy smile of yours you seen on a mirror. So that keeps in your image, and that will, long last for a day. So what you program yourself in the daily life, first 15 minutes make a big change in a day. And equally, what you're going to think while going to bed is also very much important. See, I came across so many people, I came across so many students, I came across students. So like they will be, most of the guys, like they will be either in the Netflix, either in the Amazon, either in the other social media chat. So they keep doing it and then they sleep off. So, but how they are programming then, how they will start then. So when that's the main reason, like you will not get a proper sleep, like because you're so disturbed while sleeping, you don't have proper thought process in your mind. Okay, chalo, like however it is, every day it will go, today also going, tomorrow also going, but you still want to be happy, you still want to be successful without doing anything. So at least you just, make sure like this 10 minutes, just for a 10 minutes, if not 15 minutes, out of 24 hours, like I think of myself, I think of, to be happy, I think of all the positivity which I have received today. So I remember all the positive around the things, like you will be, very much, happier throughout the day. Asta, can you please change the slide? Asta? Yeah. One second. I think I'm not. One second. I'm not able to view myself. Okay, anyway, it's not an issue. Okay, you can see the picture over there. Okay, you have dirty water in one glass and a purified water in the another glass. So most of us thinks, when I told also, like you please think positive, but yet you can't be a positive person. Why? Because there are a lot many things running in our mind. There are a lot many things which is already existing in your mind, because your mind has always been running with a several thought process. If not nothing, like we call someone and we'll put all the things, information into our brain, so it will keep processing. Okay, so something is not there. Okay, I'll try another one person, or else like grab some information from the internet. Somehow, like we keep, processing our mind very, 24 hours. But what we are feeding actually to our brain, all the good things like we are feeding, no, everything is mixed. Yes, we have good, bad, everything. And most of the cases, if you observe, like, I don't know, like we will be addicted, how you are addicted to a junk food, likewise you are addicted to, other toxic information also, you keep feeding it. So unless like you remove all the toxins from your mind, until you remove all the negativity from the mind, you can't really put in the positivity, you can't really put in the energy, positive energy. So as you see the glass, like, okay, there are so many, dust particles, so until you fully clear all the things, all the negativity from the mind, so you can't be having a full pure water in your mind. So that's how it works. So first and foremost thing is, like, you have to remove all the negative things from your mind. So how do you do that? Like most of them says, like I also say, someone, other authors also say, like remove negativity, but no one says like how. Then what you will do? There are several techniques which you can follow. Like in my further slides also, I will be emphasizing on few more techniques, but very simple techniques I would like to tell as of now. Like first and foremost thing everyone do when they are upset is like going to try, call their friends, speak to them, tell them whatever happened. So all these things, like they have to vent out everything. Okay, there is another cases where they don't want to share anything. no, I don't have any friends also. I don't want to share anything also. So let me keep everything inside. Keep. One day you get frustrated and shout at someone. So what you have to do, somehow you have to remove. So at least you don't get any friend or any counselor or anyone else. Like start writing, like that removes that thought, that thought go out. So once you write everything, it's okay, you tear it off. Like you don't want to show to anyone, that's fine. Like you tear it off and throw it to the dustbin. But make sure like whatever the toxins running in your mind will be, removed. It's not so easy in 1 or 2 days, like, but you practice, like, yeah, you will get to know like how you have to remove your toxins from the mind. Okay. Next slide, Hasta. Yeah. This is a beautiful slide, like as I already told you, like how it looks, so how you feed in the first picture. So all the things, garbages you are dumping into your brain. Okay, he said like that, she said like that, this has happened, the boss has said like that, something not went right. Okay, we forgot that there is something good, there is something positivity, that which you have to feed it. So what you have to feed it, which makes you happier in the life, which makes you happier in the process, which makes you happier in the day. But somehow you can also find a person, I also find a person, like most of us do, like for at least for the sympathy's sake, like we grumbling. Yes. Okay. We keep grumbling about the things continuously, and again and again we feed a negative thoughts into our mind. So instead of that, feed a positivity, make your brain as a garden with the beautiful flowers, beautiful fruits. Like how? So beautiful flowers, no, it gives a nice fragrance. Like, okay, everyone like to, get a nice fragrance. Likewise, when you come to the organization, or when anyone come to the organization, they should feel your presence, they should feel your aura, they should feel your positive energy. Like you may be seen, like most of the cases you also experience, you like to meet some person like who is very good in energy. Yeah, I feel so excited to meet that person, I feel so happy to meet that person. Why? Because they are maintain such an aura, they are maintain such a positivity around that. Like we always love to meet that person. And again, your thoughts, like how nice, no, fruits, like nice sweet fruits, like how I like to eat, like same thoughts you should be. Okay, everyone want to listen to you. Yeah, he's coming, I love to mingle to him, how I love to mingle with her, so she will give you good thoughts, she is a good motivator, like I want to listen to her couple of times. So that's how you have to maintain your surrounding or environment. So can we go to the next slide? Okay. Here comes. I want to know, Nadi sir or any Prasanna sir can answer, like, how many of you really heard of chakras? Chakras?
We can have the audience as well unmute their lines, and should you feel comfortable to have them answer it.
Yes, I would love to interact because that should not be one-way session. Like being a teacher, it's really most of the time I will be speaking and students will be sleeping. That should not happen, at least in these sessions. Like I love to interact so that like I can see like everyone is listening.
You are undermining the participants' capability.
Yes.
You can feel free to have them unmute their lines and answer this thing. There are many people who are aware and they can definitely go about answering it. Shirish sir is one of our senior members who's been continuously participating in our events. Shirish sir, over to you. Go ahead.
I'm having a little knowledge about it. Not I've read about it.
Okay. Good.
One thing is there certain what do you call it? Chakras will activate your mind, body, and there will be what you call the synchronization of mind and body will take place. That much I know.
Okay, thank you so much. Like
I'm also aware something, ma'am. It's like these chakras will increase or boost up your energy and your thought, something like that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Like, okay. So yeah, So yes, like, but most of the time I could see like, okay,
if you
most
would
of
say
the
about
people.
chakra, I would say all participants are very active here. Nobody is sleeping.
No, I'm talking about my, students. Like if I don't hear anything, okay, I will imagine my students like how they do. Now you know the situation of our teachers. Like
That's the virtual world, madam. Take
we
it,
keep,
in a lighter sense. Thank you so much.
yeah, no, because we keep calling, only we can hear their voice when they are, telling the attendance. We keep calling their names, and like they realize only when they call, like, okay, just for that, like I would like to have an interactions, like I love to have a so that like I also feel the presence of everyone surrounding me. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Asta, can you move to the next slide? Yeah. Okay, see here, most of us, yes, we know a little bit, and most of us, I think like 50% are unaware how the chakra is going to helpful in, to be happy, or to be, stay connected to the world. So you can see there in the chakras also, we have first starting with the Muladhara chakra, Swadhisthana, which is the second chakra called sacral chakra, and third Manipur or solar chakra, and fourth Ananta chakra, which is heart chakra, and Vishubha and Agna and Sahasra. So I'm not going in depth though, but how you are connected with the happiness, how it is playing a role in your life, I would like to tell. Okay, so root chakra, basically it is a foundation and full feeling of being grounded. Yes, I grounded, I'm very much confident. So it is all about survival issues, like, okay, you can see two persons like financial independent, money or food related, very basic things. Like one person will be so much worried, okay, like if I lost a job, what to do? If I, if it's something is not happened, what to do? So if I don't get money, if I don't get food. But somewhere you can also find a person who will be, very much happier, like, okay, people, wherever I go, I will survive. I never have an issue of, basic, things. Like I will be much comfortable wherever I move, or wherever I am traveling, or whichever the job is fine. Like I'm okay, I'm more confident about myself. That is the emotional things which bonded with the Muladhara chakra. Okay, there are so many things, like you can come around, or you are come around your colleagues or friends or anyone who is like, okay, they can say, okay, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that, and why I'm worried about, lot many food, all this basic requirements. That means there is some kind of blockage we have to, rectify and correct. Now when I'm telling there is a blockage, like, okay, what you say it, like how do you do it? There are several ways, like where you unblock the Muladhara chakra, but it would be very much better if you go to the particular gurus and get an attunement of that and get it. Otherwise also no issues. There are so many meditation involving it, and there are so many exercise which is involved in the Muladhara chakra, and there are so many, colors associated with, and even the food we eat, which is associated with the root chakra. So you can see here, like, okay, food everyone eats, so that will be not a difficult one, because like doing exercise, sometimes we can take a back step. Okay, today I will do, no, tomorrow I will do, okay, no, day after tomorrow I'll do. So most of us like have a habit of, but food we never skip, no, we always have a food. So what type of food you have to have? Apple, even potato, even carrot, even, tomatoes. So all this red colors, gives a boost to your Muladhara chakra. So not only that, I will, after completing what all this Muladhara and other things, then I will show you few exercise also, which you can practice in the home, so that yes, you boost yourself. And while analyzing the different types of chakras, you can also even think where you are standing, where you are lacking. Either you have insecurity about your financial things, either you are insecurity of other first basic thing, or you are insecure about something else. that you can analyze yourself and you can rectify yourself and can boost that things. Okay, so second thing is Swadhisthana. So that is Isthana. It's coming in the word like Ista, which is associated with a orange color. And yes, element is a water. It is a what I can say, it is a creativity, it is an happiness, it is a well-being of an human being, how much you are connected or how much you are happier, that this chakra will show you the ability to accept others, the ability to expect new experience. Okay, so somewhere you feel a person who is having a basic set of, okay, I have a good house, I have a good food, no problem, I have a home, I have no problem, financial issues, no problem. But somewhere someone will say life is too boring, I'm not getting a good friends, I am not gone for a party, or I am not done anything entertainment. These thoughts will come when there is some blockage and with the second chakra. So how you will rectify? So either you have to do that, or like you have to do boost yourself with the food, exercise, or color associated with the orange color wearing. You have to boost yourself. Okay, having a orange or any kind of orange colored food will boost your Swadhisthana. I later show you few exercise also that you can practice, or else like I'll share the PPT with you so that like you can practice those exercise in a home. But what I would suggest, when you rectify or when you notice where you are standing, it would be better like you go to a gurus who is very well versed in giving an attainment and healing you. Otherwise also, if it is a minor issues, you can heal yourself. If it is you think like, okay, it is not happening from high hand, I need some guidance from the gurus, then you can definitely go and meet and get a yoga energy build up in your body. And next is Manipuri, which is located in the center of a novel, which is yellow in color. Okay, so emotions, which is self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. Now you can see, I, as a basic securities, I have home, I have financially fit, I am happy with going out, like I'm enjoying my life. But now comes, I want to achieve something in my life. What do I do? So someone else is taking my success, someone else is blocking me to get achieved some things. Like all this starts when you reach to the third chakra and you start feeling, okay, someone, no, like I'm not able to succeed in my life, whatever I'm doing, like no, it's not happening. That thought process you yourself feeding to your brain. So instead of that, like what you can do, you can boost your energy in the third chakra, like as I said, which is color associated with the yellow. You can have cons, wear yellow colors, and yes, you have to do certain exercise and do meditation. If you go and check in YouTube also, you have so many musics which is connected with the Manipur or all 7 chakras, which gives you relaxation to your mind. You relax yourself so that you will be fit, or you will be emotionally happy. Okay, so next I would like to talk about Ananta, so which is the ability to love. So these plays a very, very important role in any of the human being. Like what is missing here? I have everything in my life. I have friends, but still somewhere I feel no one loves me. Still I feel I lack something. Okay, still I feel I left. Okay, so no one is treating me good. Neither I am feeling good about it, or like I'm not letting others who is surrounding also be calm by telling several times, no, they don't treat. I like, okay, don't take it as a lighter. Like I have seen people, most of the time telling this, okay, this is happening to me only, no one is treating good, that, this, and all. They start hatred, they start feeling loneliness, they start being alone in their own space. That creates even a chest pain sometimes. So here you have to associate with the green vegetables. Have so much of green vegetables, wear green vegetables, listen to the chakra, Ananta chakra, music, imagine a greeneries. Like whenever I feel, I truly, put myself in the heart chakra and imagine all the natures. I go imagine a surrounding so that like I can see a beautiful garden over there. I walk around, though I can't go out. Like, yeah, I travel myself inside and I feel comfortable. I feel relaxed after some time, like, imagining all green. Or else you can still go out and see the greeneries, take a fresh air, and you can connect. So obviously, first you should learn like how to love yourself. That's the first thing. And second thing, how to love others as well. So there is a thing like most of the time we fail, we have an argument because of our ego. Why should I agree upon it? Why should I always listen to others? Why should I forgive them? Okay, so then what you do if you don't forgive them, or if you can't forgive them, what is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen to the other person, but something is really going to happen to your heart. Your heart start paining. You are putting all the garbages to your mind, heart, and that is going to get corrupted, that is going to get hurted. So forgive them, let it go. I know it's not so easy as I tell, but practice one day, practice 2 days, or like when, as I already told you, when you get up, think that, okay, whatever happens, I'm going to forgive that person. Really. Because I want to stay happy, and I love everyone, I forgive anyone. Okay, so I will leave out my ego. Let's not get into the quarreling or any sort of things like that. So that is where Ananta stands for. And next is Visuddha. It's your ability to communicate. It's here, throat. It's in a blue color. So you maybe find a nice person, like as I already told in the beginning. Okay, so if he or she tells to you, you feel like listening. Or like, okay, any leaders. Suresh sir is one of our leader in Don Bosco, a lovely person. He used to, whatever community, we used to feel like listening to him. Like we can't say no for anyone, like who are very self-expressive, and we who can communicate very well to us, so that like we also agree, yes, we'll do it. So that is the ability, our ability to communicate stands in Vishuddha. And you can even find like or yourself or anyone else, whatever you tell, you don't feel like listening. There is some blockage, no, you don't want to listen. So the people who is clear with this, this Vishuddha chakra, like their ability to communicate is very, very good. Okay. And yes, this is very important. Agna chakra, third eye. So most of the time it is one of the favorite, which is our ability to focus on see the big picture. Okay, so how it is very important to an intuition, imagination, wisdom, and ability to think and make decisions. So you can see the people who is very having a big position in their companies, have a big vision in their lives, have an ability to think broad or open-minded, have a very tuned eye chakra, third eye chakra, or Ajna chakra, so which is very helpful for seeing the world clearly with the open-mindedness. Yes, and this is our technique. You can even imagine in the middle of the eyebrows and meditate for 2-3 minutes. You can focus in the middle of the eyebrows, and you could really experience what are the changes can happen. Okay, next is higher level, Sahasra. So most of us, we can't reach. The highest chakra represents our ability to fully connected to the spirituality, the white and violet color. So you can see in the God's photos also, there is a white and a golden color around auras and all. So we are connecting to the spirituality. We can experience a pure bliss over there. So for this, you have only one way to go reach and meditate. And I still say meditate with a proper gurus. because when the energy flowing from the root chakra to Sahasrara chakra, so when you are meditating, if any blockages happens, that will struck, that may causes some kind of disadvantages. So please take a guidance when you are meditating from gurus, so that like it will be helpful for you guys. Okay. Asta, can you go to the next slide? Okay, you can see in the slide, which is the chakra associated. It's full screen. Okay, fruits and all, like I've shown what is for Mooladhara and what is orange related fruits and what is yellow related fruits. And again, what is for first chakra and lost chakra as well. You can see in the slide. As the next slide. These are all the few yoga poses. I think like I can't go in depth with that. Like I just move on, Asta. You keep moving. This I will share with you so that like you can practice that yoga postures. Yeah. So today's last topic is success tip to student. Till now, whatever I told, it is related to any person from the student case to anyone as a student or not as a student or a trainer or any person. But I would always love to give few tips to my students since I am a teacher. Like as I already told you, like how you have to start a day, how you have to end a day. There are certain other things which includes being, as a student, which you have to follow. Okay, like vision board. Okay, so what you have to become as a student, you want to get a good marks or you want to get a good job in your career, so that you have to visualize, keep a board and you put everything what you want to do it, and every day keep looking at the image, so that like okay, you will achieve one day that one. So to know more or to get into the things, like I will be launching my second book for students itself. The book name is Success Sutra for Students. Please do, if possible, read that book and you will get a more insights on like how to read and how to stop procrastination, how to concentrate. So concentration, yes, like again, I can go into the meditation concept. You can always go with a candlelight meditation, like keep your candle in front of you at least 10 and 15 minutes, like keep looking at the flame of the candle. That increases your concentration, because like you always get diverted. You will be thinking couple of things, that these all things running. So try to focus on the light so that your concentration power increases and you learn well. And other tips, like I will be, as I told, like you can get it in my books. So now I would like to end the session. Like any questions, if you have, like you can do ask me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, may I? My name is Shirish Pingle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
See, for the millennium today, success and happiness is not aligned.
Yes.
And because of that, I find they get into depression.
Yes. See, first of all, as I told you,
completed my question.
Okay, sir. Please tell me.
Now, does this happiness or success is the root cause for depression? Because it is not a failure.
So, your voice is breaking.
I said success and happiness is not aligned today. And this is the majority, millenniums, they really fail. I'll give you an example for that matter.
Okay.
A person to whom I have coached wanted to get admission in IIMB.
Okay.
And they got admission in IIM Guwahati.
Okay.
For me, cracking a CAT itself is a major achievement.
Okay.
For him, there was no thrill.
Yes.
He was disappointed, thoroughly disappointed in his entire behavior change.
Okay.
He had to undergo counseling. Of course, psychiatrist help he had to seek.
Okay.
So how now the definition of happiness? Now the definition of happiness is totally changed.
Sir, first and foremost thing, no, as a teacher, I always think about it a couple of times. See, I am basically engineer. Okay, I have studied later MBA in human resource management. I'm a gold medalist in human resource management. And of actually speaking, I have my thought to learn a counseling. I want to actually learn something which is related with a counseling, but which is never related with a technical subject. See, there are students like their passion and their drive is entirely different. Though for you, like, tracking a cat is a big thing, but may not be interested in the his interest or is, a willingness to do something is different, because every individual is different. That's because of surrounding circumstances, because of, a friend circle, because of a family members telling something, like he also would like to do that, but not mentally ready for it. That makes that person depressed. So every individual, even like I was thinking about writing one research paper also about this, like, see, when you're getting an admission after 10th or POC, like, you need to counsel even a parents and the student. We getting to the subject commerce or accounts, if you go and ask in the class, like 95% of the students, if I ask the question, why did you get into the BBA or why did you get, my parents told, my friends told. Is that their passion? No, their interest is something else. So it is always a root cause, like you are pushing someone where he or she is not interested. So their drives, their, thought process is something else. Like, try to understand what they want to achieve. Maybe like in that case, they will be very much, comfortable, or like will be more motivated in doing or achieving something else.
No, I said the happiness of definition has changed here. Right? My question is very simple. When people achieve success, cracking CAT, he was very happy. He did not get placement at IIM Bangalore, and then he got in different place. That induced sort of a distress signal to him. That is what my question.
Shinichar,
So
I believe I can help you with the answer, because this even had happened. Because what you are trying to say is somewhat a reality of at least my generation, I would say. Because I have got friends, a similar kind of incident, like they were targeting maybe IIT Madras, and then they ended up into IIT Powai or IIT Mumbai. So this happens because at least my generation and people who are in their early 20s, who are now approaching towards their higher studies, we often associate our happiness and our success with one thing rather than looking at the wider perspective. Because, getting into IIM or IIT is still a dream of many students. Many cannot crack it. But then we are so competitive in our nature, we are so competitive about things in our life when it comes to a career, that we often tend to ignore a certain kind of opportunity which are actually standing in front of us. And we are also, our generation is also a little stubborn to accept things which we do not want in our life. So we
what
are,
is wrong
though
what
we
is wrong in the stubbornness in that case? It is an aspiration.
sir, I would say it is,
Aspiration, one has to be
I
stubborn.
agree to that, but
I will put
no, but
stubborn is a
sometimes
very strong sense of
stubbornness,
persuasion. A strong sense of
I
persuasion
agree to
you
that
can put
point.
as a stubborn. That's the reason.
Yes.
Sir, as I
But
already
then
told,
I think so. We can take it offline because there may
yes,
be other
we can
questions that we
certainly, because it's a
we can
very
take.
good topic. But as
Anyhow,
you said
thank you.
that it is, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. The reason, others, we should not get disturbed. You
Yeah.
can take the question from others. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session. Brilliant. Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, sir. I know the kind of changes that we would have been seeing for sure. Yeah, happiness has its own definition, like what has been put up, and they derive happiness specifically by what they look forward to in achievement, I believe. Yeah, any more questions coming up? Please unmute your lines. You can put your questions in the chat window.
Oh, sorry, it took more time.
No, definitely. Like I could hear, like by your voice and the thought process, I can even guess you are very elderly and very intellectual person. Like to pose a question also, like you have so much of thoughts inside. For that only, we can guess like how much intellectual person you are. Like we are very much happy that like you pose a question for us. Like even it leads to a several concept and thought process of us, so that like we get a lot many answers to it.
Siri sir has been a coach, and he is also a senior person from the corporate. He has
It's our pleasure to interact with Siri sir actually.
Okay, I see Sunil on camera. Sunil, you got any questions?
Question I was trying to add something to the session. The Klug glasses was a really appealing one, because one is dirty and one is clear. I think that was something I'll definitely use it for one of my presentation, but with your permission. I was actually thinking, because I also do a lot of presentations, but unfortunately, just to add on to the session, is that we have forgotten our ancient game of snake and ladder. I think many of us maybe thought it's a play in our childhood, okay? But this game has got a lot of meaning in terms of happiness, how you see in the life, because the 1 to 100 number talks about 100 years of a person's life. And you see a ladder which talks about all the good things, and a snake which talks about all the downsides of life. So now the game was so well designed for childhood, so that at a childhood you understand what are the ups and downs even very well in the tender age. Unfortunately, today people are losing their happiness for small things, because of course technically, and today nobody plays snake and ladder, and everybody connected to PUBG, all games is concerned online. I think the happiness question, because that is what we need to understand. We are not in a race with somebody. We are in a race of 1 to 100. That is a snake to ladder. That is a ladder of success. And there are some snakes which come in between, but we have to bounce back and climb. Whether it's an IM or IMZ, it's not that. It's the purpose is I need to reach that point of 100 with a lot of fulfillment. So that is where I think one slide, if you can add up on the snake and ladder, I think it will be really awesome, because I just thought it will
We'll consider your request, sir. We consider.
Because what I see is that everybody is getting younger age, they're getting suicide for small 1 mark. Come ho gaya, I could not get an admission, suicide. It's all meaningless. So if we understand the snake and ladder story, I think everybody gets clarity in the happiness process. Yeah, that's it.
Adding to your point, Sunil sir, that's the same thing I was trying to say when Sirish said that stubbornness is like our generation is not ready to accept certain things which we do not want. And it is a proven fact. A lot of studies are also saying that there's a huge gap in the generation, in their thought process, in how they perceive things. And the generation which is younger to my generation is more stubborn in certain aspect, which is not good, because change is the only constant. As you said, the game of snake and ladder, that is nothing but how our life is. Like today you might be happy, tomorrow you might be a little upset about something. You cannot be constantly happy. And that the same was the thing I even said in the very beginning, that it is a journey, not a destination. And for a few people it is very hard to accept, because as a student I have also faced rejection, maybe in campus drives, maybe in certain aspect of our life. But then I cannot let go of the opportunity which has come to me just because one opportunity is not there. So it is up to an individual how we grab it, how we perceive it, and how we move forward with it in our life. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, completely.
Right. Possibly we can also look at the other side of it, given that the stubbornness is nothing but a new change that is in the making, because we don't know how's the generation gonna be. We've seen 2 years of no classroom sessions, but it's purely virtual connect sessions that are across the globe. And maybe that is triggering a new change in everybody. So possibly that we may end up with a different game changer altogether. So like what Sunil said, maybe not just snakes, there could be something else that might pull you down, and there could be something springboard that can pop you up as well.
Yes, the social setting is going to get changed.
See, today, unfortunately, PUBG is teaching killing somebody and getting the happiness. That is what is happening. So it is not about racing towards life. So the approach
That's
towards
for those who have gadgets. There are still many without gadgets. So let's look at the other side as well. That's what I was trying to put across as.
Exactly. The brighter side of the.
But yeah, let's see, because there are many. We may the very definition says that happiness was somebody cannot be the same with someone else. Yeah, some derive pleasure by playing PUBG, and some derive pleasure by wanting to get onto the swimming pool. So yeah. Okay, we will wait for someone else to share their.
Yes,
points.
I want to share. But gadgets nowadays everyone has. Okay, like even I also support like Sunil's comment. But I had one question. Seeing your slides, I'm very sorry. Maybe it looks a silly question for you, but the food chart which you have shown, having that food will definitely activate that kind of a particular chakra. It means that
Excuse me, sir. So, which one?
the food chart you
slide
have
that you
shown.
showed about.
Sir, it will extend. No, it will help you to an extent. Like, okay, to an extent, like 10%. Like, as I told you, like, if you go with the particular gurus who do an attunement, like, if you go to the Reiki masters also, or if you go with the person who is having a more Kundalini energy knowledge, so they will give you an attunement of all 7 chakra, which it would be perfect. Like 100%, you can balance your all the chakras. These are all like supporting things, like it will 10-15% to 20%, which help you to get connected with that chakras for at least for a temporary, not permanent. If you want to be permanently stable, means like you have to get an attunement with the gurus. Like I can share the number also, like a few of the gurus whom I know. Like one point I have to tell also, to stay happy or to be positive, like I as a Reiki practitioner, like what I would suggest you is like energize your food, energize your water which you drink, like give a positive thought. Like when you are drinking also, think like it will give you a positive energy, think it will boost your health. So of doing that, like you definitely boost up your energy or a health in you. So but yes, that is a continuous process. How long you keep doing, that is a continuous process. You have to continuously do also. Okay, today I will do, tomorrow I don't do. It cannot happen like that, because today we are eating, that tomorrow also you should eat food. So if you want to practice perfectly, means you have to all the energies to be unblocked, then you have to practice with the gurus, because he will be the person who will be seeing how the energy is flowing, where it is struck, why it is struck. So you could analyze everything in your chakras and do the things.
That answers sleep. Okay, so
Yeah,
And
thank
also
you.
discipline, like ma'am have, sorry to interrupt,
go ahead.
sir, I just wanted to add, like how ma'am have said that the importance of guru, because even like we both are highly into the spiritual aspect. So having a guru helps you to stay into discipline. So to follow anything which is about taking care of your spiritual and mental being, it is important to have a guru, because they are the one who can guide you. It is not just about the food, as ma'am has already mentioned. It is also about the practices you follow on a daily basis sincerely. That is the most important thing, and that is only possible if you have a guru to guide you.
Right, there is a hand holding that is required, and only then you will be put onto the right path. Well, knocking on to the door of happiness, yeah, we started off with a little challenge, to be frank, and there was almost a kind of dejection to start the day with, but we almost went back and then had to knock the door of happiness to ensure that we are back on track, and smiles on the faces, because thank you to the two speakers, Anuradha and Asta Shukla, for making this happen today. We regret for the slight delay in starting the session due to some technical issues, but yes, that is what knocking on meant for us in this evening session. So hopefully that smile tells us that, okay, we come back on track and we had a change of emotions from where we started off to where we are. With that note, again, I would definitely want to introduce them post this session, considering that we had a slow start. But yes, Anuradha, an assistant professor at the Oxford College of Business Management, also holds MBA apart from business, Bachelor of Engineering in Industrial and Production Engineering, with an HR specialization, and a gold medalist in MBA, with over 9 years of experience, is also honored with the Pearl Foundation Best Women's Assistant Professor Award, recognizing her for her outstanding contribution in the field of business management during the National Conference on Smart Summit 2021 at Madurai. Also, she is one of the co-authors of this book together with Asta, Knocking the Doors of Happiness. And to have more information, you can always log into blissfulhappiness.in to check out on their updates, to get to know them a little more and what they've been doing. Asta Shukla, the author of this globally published book, is citizen of Madhya Pradesh and has been a national level chess player. So obviously there is a lot of mind games running. And the author is also very passionate about dancing and has been a theater artist. So it's evident the way that she's been passionate about what she's been doing, and a passion for writing since her school days, and also contributing to the different poems in her school magazines helped her publish this book together with her faculty member. She pursued her MBA, HR and marketing from Bagley University, and works as a reputed MNC. And also she is a freelance corporate trainer and a speaker. So with that as an introduction, we almost come to the close of this session. Should you have any words of appreciation, any suggestions, feedback, feel free. You can unmute your lines and share your updates as well. One last call.
We are all happy now.
Thank you, Shirish sir.
Thank you, Shirish sir. It is really, I'm feel honored to interact with you. Such an intellectual person, and I'm very happy and I'm very thankful for giving an opportunity. I really want to thank Suresh sir, especially I was working under him. He's a nice person. Most of my colleagues I used to note, so I could even see when Suresh sir working, and when he left, most of the faculties are cried for him. That's the biggest heart and a lovely person he is. Like, anyone love to connect with Suresh sir, and of course Asta is also a student of Suresh sir, so we are really happy to interact with all of you guys. Thank you.
Hence it's the continuation of Disciples India. So thank you for being part of
I have able to remember.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thereby we come to the close of today's session. And with that note, we are winding up today's session. And okay, one last entrant at the end of the session today. We have N.K. Sundaram joining us. Sir, you're almost joined us at the end of the session. Should you have anything to share, feel free. If you are hearing us, Sundaram sir. Okay, not sure, I believe. All right, so with that note, thank you everyone for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next session, and have a wonderful weekend, and looking forward to seeing you again. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Suma. Thank you. Thank you.